Hello, my jellyfitters. My name is Jim, and this is your daily Brogue for. That one good. It showed up. I don't know. Did it show up immediately for you? It did not show up immediately for me on the OBS screen. For the 8th of August, 2026. So I was talking about a couple of weeks ago because I was doing some fill-in episodes about some of the things people were saying about designing dungeons and Dungeons and Dragons. So since I was, and actually I still am, because it's, you know, more or less the same day for me, maybe less because it's the day after, but the morning after. But yeah, I was sitting around here, I was designing a dungeon. And I thought, okay, so what am I getting from this? And mostly it was nothing, right? I was mostly getting a whole lot of nothing. Strength and levitation, no telepathy. Crap. Okay, well, just have to wait out that. Well, I guess I can come over here. There's something I didn't see. There's nothing there. Okay. Kobold showed up, and this thing is still here. It's gone. So I have a war pike. You want to try it? Not curse. Just play around with that as long as I'm not dying. As soon as I start dying, we'll swap. Let's see. Scale mail. Also not bad. And an indigo potion. Okay, so what I'd seen was Chubby Funster making fun of Baron de Rop, which is, I think, a an obscure historical reference as far as that name is concerned. Um, see that sword. If it's okay, will be good. So I was listening to the Chubby Funster talk about that is weird spin. Um, I was listening to him talk about this Baron de Rop's. Oops. Okay, so this is a rat trap. You want to try it? Let's see what else we can get here. I think the obstruction makes walls, but if you put the obstruction on a trap, I think the gas trap will still activate if the obstruction is next to the trap. So let's see. I will not use that. Oh, maybe I can get the bloat. Can I annoy the bloat and get it to follow me? Okay, so that gets rid of the advantage of this. Still have 3 things to kill. So I probably would have had enough otherwise. Ring of Light, no. Teleportation Wand, no. Negation Wand, no. Dagger, no. Lightning, no. Spear, no. Teleportation Charm. Got a jail free card. Alright. So that is probably sufficient for now. Let's try M. Descent. Ooh, very nice. Very lucky, right? Lavender potion. 2 of them. Detect magic. Okay, the Warpike is good, so is the sword. The Banded Mail is bad. The Scale Mail is average. Um, let's see, I have 1 more thing to kill with it to figure out how good it is. 2 more things. Okay. That is not good. Q +3 Warpike. Okay, we will go with the sword for now because we want to figure out what it is. Nothing there. We want to get back up, not go down again. So I was listening to that. Now, what this Baron de Roth was saying, what he wanted was so that doesn't help. A lot of little knives coming at me. I don't know where they went. Okay. Did I see a bloodwort stuck around here? No. So I will hang out here until I'm hungry, and I will not find a food. So I'm going back up. We'll find some food in here. Hopefully I'll kill enough stuff with my little sword to see stuff. So I was listening to this conversation. Try to listen to a little more of this conversation. Actually, I didn't. The more I listened to was half of an interview between, or a discussion between the two participants, Baron DeWop, or yeah, Baron DeWop, or DeRop, excuse me. I don't know why I want to call him DeWop. And the chubby funster, mostly to find. Oh, now I've got you. This is bad. What is an A? A violet potion. So I need to do something for that. I see a rat way over there. I see a monkey. Sword 4 kills to make a something. I'm pretty sure I did the search thing down there. I don't know where the monkey came from. How's my ogre? Ogre's fine. I'm fine. That's also a +3 sword. So if I'm enchanting something, I think I'll probably want to enchant the war pike and get myself to a position where the war pike becomes my main weapon. Is what I'm looking at right now. Okay, what have I got? Okay, we will try that violet potion. Incineration. A little ledge. Let's let Ogre take care of that. I don't need to actually kill things anymore. At least for now. Okay, I've got an ogre there. I've got a bunch of things to try. Let's throw. That is sufficient. So I was making something. So let's flip over. Okay, so do I have this? There we go. So here you can see I'm making a, we've talked about this earlier. I'm making a thing in this idea. So I have a dwarven trading post that goes into the mountains. So this is how I think they would do it. I think dwarves are paranoid. Any place they trade with the worlds, they build a little fortressy looking thing. This is actually very small. I'd say it's because it is for dwarves, right? I would say this is maybe 50 feet across or something like this. This is not, something that's going to be a huge thing, but what I have is in the world the dwarves are gone, but obviously because of a cataclysmic event, at least in this part of the world, and this cataclysmic event, shut down the tunnels for some time. Maybe they'll reopen at some point. Maybe the players will have something to do with that. But this is sort of a way to introduce the dwarven problem to the not students, to players as well as some other things. So this will be a place where the adventurers will go. Um, and this is more or less what it looks like in its normal state, in the state when it does anything else. So this is where I'm starting from. Right, I'm starting from. I have a sort of castle thing in the dungeon, right? A castle thing that is not really a castle; it's more of a little tiny fort where people can come and trade. This area in front and probably some areas down here would have had more activity and wooden things and stuff like that, but they just sort of have had time to be cleared off with and stuff like that. Maybe I could add, well, since this is supposed to be how it would look on a normal day when nobody was there, I could add other things over here later to a more professional drawing rather than a quick sketch like this one. So that is what I'm looking for. Um, so the problem I had with these two guys is that, when I was looking at their advice on how to dungeon, right, how to design dungeons, it was not helping me, right? So I guess that's maybe a common problem, right? Your advice isn't helping me, so why do I give a damn? Um, Part of it is, uh, I think it just won't look organic. It won't look like a real place if I did not search up there today by the thing because my health was low. So I was playing with the eel. No, there is nothing up there to find. Okay. So that's part of the reason why I am going to talk to you. Not a good place to test the staff. But I will go down a level in a second. I can get rid of the dagger very easily. Oh my, I didn't check my ogre's fine too. And I've got another staff. Plus 0 splint mail. We'll hope for something better. So the problem was, the Baron de Rop guy wanted to talk about, um, for example, using video game ideas in your dungeons, use 3-lane system and stuff like that. And I just did not feel that was good. So instead, what I'm doing is I'm starting off with, if I can find the right, oh, I'm starting off with this drawing. So this is actually an underdrawing, so I can use it to make other things. This is that first level. This is that entry level to the dwarven place. So this is basically an excise room. This is sort of customs, you might say. This is where the Dwarven Kingdom taxes people who want to trade with the Dwarven Kingdom, right? All these little benches are marked A, are places where the assessing is done. So you can have a wagon here or a giant lizard here. And you put the stuff on the tables and they do all that thing. And then if it's coming up, a wagon loads it up and goes out, or if it's going down, a lizard does. And then B is this place. I'll show you a picture of it in a second, where the where the money goes up, right? And these are basically guardian sort of areas. Let me see. Where is I can just use this. Um, oh, there was. Okay, so this is that chimney that I was showing you. So obviously I made this snake and spear $sign, lots of S's. I wonder why S. Is it just because dollars have traditionally had a sword? It's a very strange thing. Maybe it's for silver. In any event, this chimney would have a bucket on it, which would have the same symbol on it, and then this is like a dumbwaiter, and the bucket goes down. They fill it up with the tariff or with the excise taxes, and that goes up to the government, and you're allowed to go and trade. All right, so that is more or less what I'm doing. Is I'm making this a working area. So there's a chimney up here that you can climb up because there's no direct way, at least that you can see right here, to get up to that level. So that military level is actually very secure because they're dwarves and they're paranoid. Over here we have the lizard stables. Basically, these are giant cave lizards. They do not like the light, and so they have to be stabled in an area like this. And this is basically the tack room. Down here, this is a cistern. A here is a cistern. 4A is where they actually start kitting up the giant lizards that are going to go down into the dwarven path, dwarven ways, and B is where they keep all the stuff to sort of saddle up the lizards. And maybe up here on the top, I think I'll. So depending on the size, right? So this is a large one. Depending on the size, so a large one like this, there's no room on the walls, so any of the kits and sledges and stuff would be hung from the ceiling. So that I designed first before I started designing my thing, because this is not going to, the dwarves are gone, so who is inhabiting this? So this is the next level. But before I know what to do with the um, other people, how to populate the dungeon, I have a purpose for the dungeon. And then later on, I can actually use the same design for other things, and it will be reminiscent of things that they've seen before, and therefore they'll understand what is going on, hopefully, the players. Okay, so I have a telepathic bond with my ogre. Very nice. Okay, so now I am in a position where I will have a detect magic. I will use it. It is not a good place to use it, but I do know all those are good um, scrolls. I think, and those are good stabs, so I will not point them at my dude. What is K? K is blinking. It's a blinking 3. Very nice. Okay, and I'm going to guess this is something offensive. It is a firebolt. Very nice. So since I don't, well, actually, I might have a protect weapon in there, so I should. I'm going to guess I think I have 3 um enchantments. So that brings my war pike down. That would bring my war pike down to a 15. So it'd only be 2 down on that. So we're going to equip E and check I over here, just in case it's something else. It's not. So if that were a bad thing, it would be bad. So we will enchant that up here. More or less, that means I don't need the sword. Let's see. We can equip B. Maybe it will be good. So now, Chubby Funster, he had a similar video where he was talking about how he thought. Well, he had a lot of videos actually. So I'm going to come around here and do some searches. First, I need to come back up here, make sure this is fine. But I'm going to do some searches because there's a goodie down there, right? And I have no way of, I just have to come back up and do this otherwise. So there's going to be a long train of stuff over here. Now I should be able to zap a vampire pet fairly readily. This was bad. I should not have done that. Should have blamed him. No. I'm going to have to go back that way anyway. Okay, I will firebolt the acid mound. Get out of there. And we will do this thing. This is not astounding, but okay, a potion of strength will go a long way. What was the other thing I got? I do not know. Okay, it's up here. Another goblin dude. So that concerning. I thought I had checked. There we go. There's my dudes. Okay, my dudes, we have to run this way. No dude away from that thing. And all right. So hopefully I've cleared that out of all the things that I want to clear out. And Scroll of Enchanting to that war pike. So I actually have the strength for a +7 war pike. Um, yeah. Okay. So the Chubby Funster had a dungeon analysis, and he sort of made different um, ideas about things. Maybe I can look at this now. This is the original for this, right? And this is so far what I have for that first level after the cave-in. So I want to keep Um, so you'll notice this is a little more ornate. So this is, again, the base idea, and then I move it into something like this. Possibly I should have a cistern here or um, something. Maybe I should have like a little well or something. I can add something over here to make it a little bit more in line with this, and still, but it doesn't have to look like this, right? It can be a little bit different. The cistern could come over to the right, for example, and then the well, there would be a well here for the goblin or the troll here, but that well would be useful for the goblins because that's what's going to happen. So what I'm thinking of is this area here will be full of sheep. And then this area here, which you can't get to from this level, will be full of goblins. So this will be sort of a vertical area. Um, so the goblins will be here. Um, there's some sort of gas in the some sort of gas or magic or something in this dungeon that does something that is similar to the curse on the guy who's sending the sending the players here. So this area here, this entire area is more or less one thing. And I think this is what Chubby Funster would just call a vector, right? You come here, you come over here, and apparently, I mean, I could just not have the second level or have the second level inaccessible to anybody but a thief. But there's basically one path through this area, so it's kind of a vector, and then another vector would be up here. He also has zones, so this would be one zone, and then this would be another zone, right? And then maybe I'd have a couple of more zones in there. So I'd have my goblin zone, which has my vegetarian goblins here. That's why they're so mean. They were cursed by a wizard so that they can only eat um, vegetables, but he did give them he was nice. That's because they were stealing his sheep. And then we have the sheep. We have sheep in here. Now I do not know if those sheep are the sheep from the wizard, or if I'm I'm thinking I'm going to make a bug clops, an even larger bugbear, or maybe just something of bugbear size with with one eye and two mustaches, and that would be the big bad in here. The other option is to have a necromancer in here. In fact, what I probably would do is what I would repopulate this later if the players uh, do something. I'd repopulate this with a necromancer, and then he could take this giant lizard. You have a giant lizard here, and he could take that giant lizard and reanimate it, and then have a giant lizard guarding this area, which is all. Um, this is fairly fortified, right? So uh, this area 5 could be his laboratory and things like that later on. But I'm going with this will be the bug clops layer, which means I don't know what to put up on the second level, um, which would be perfectly good for apartments for the other guy. Um, so that is both the zones and vectors, right? You come in this way, go over this way, right? You come up, you go up, you climb up here, or you can climb up through this chimney, and then you're in this vector, right? So these are two different things. Um, and there's this cave in here that just more or less explains why you can't get out of there. Maybe I'll have like jutting out of there the wreckage of a sledge or something like that, and then you can see the sledge in room 4. So, right, I mean, I can force it to fit the Chubby Funsters categories. I just don't feel like those categories are natural. Okay, next level. Okay. What is going on? What is he scared of? What does he want to do? He wants to come up here. Okay, so we've got cages in here. That's good. The goblin, we have an ogre, but we have a goblin mystic here. So if we can find the key to that cage, we have something good. Okay, my dudes. Did either of the goblins survive? Does not look like it. Oh, there was a back door, and one of the goblins made it through the back door. Right. Okay, I think this might be a flood trap. Okay, so the way to take care of a flood trap is to kill all the eels beforehand. So they're easy to take out. They're at this point they're fairly easy to take out one by one. That was a cage key. That was a door key. Okay, as long as I'm here. The door has a telepathy charm and a cage key, so we can be happy with that cage key. Let's see. Okay, and I have food again, and it's in the right spot. That is a +3 ring of wisdom, which means I really should be using my things. This is the exit. Okay, so I need to use some of these scrolls. So we will try. I've got enchanting. I can use that. Let's see. D. Teleportation. All right, so I'm way over here. I am free to try. Perhaps like this. That is the one I want to get rid of before but the bad things happen. And O is protect weapon. That's what I wanted. H is identify. Identify. So what can I identify? I should identify. Okay. M H N N. I don't know about the obstruction. Let's zap the instruction. Obstruction. I think it's only a 2. It's a 3. Okay. Let's get that guy because he's really helpful. All right. And so when I get to the next level, right, that's the first level. It's the redraw. This is the chimney chute, and this. Okay, so this is the same as the first one. So this is our trade place. This is where our chimney is. And these are our guard posts, guard entry posts. They go both up and down. We have similar towers that you might have seen in the back. These both go up and down. So these are the ramparts. These are used by the guards. The barracks are out here. There's a cistern here and a well here to the cistern on the in the stables. This well is used for the governor's mansion, which is above this. So this is the servants' entrance. and maybe the cellars for the um, governor's place. This is where the governor administrative offices are. There aren't a lot because this is a small. This is just a trading post. It doesn't really need a lot here. Just some just some civilian administration and somebody who knows how to count. Up here to the actual governor's apartments, which will be 1 or 2 levels of something fairly thin, a little thicker than this, but a little maybe this size. So think of maybe a townhouse, a 3-level townhouse, 2-level townhouse. 3-level townhouse. Usually, a 3-level townhouse is very small. So think about it like a 3-level townhouse in size. Maybe, well, I guess this could be counted as 1 level. And then over here we have a couple of apartments for accountants and things like that. And I will try to cut out the personal information that I didn't know was there. So again, what I have to do next is I have to decide what's going to happen. We know that there's a collapse right about here. So there's a collapse over this area. So probably we'll take out all of these 3 towers and these places here, and possibly leave some areas over here. Another possibility is we could take one of these, maybe this one, and let it go down, right? There has to be a way down, right? So probably would not go through here, right? So that way down will probably be through one of these towers here. This one goes to the mansion or this guy's house. So probably in this tower here, I should have a down to another one of these things, and that would in turn go down to a place where people can get up here from somewhere deeper in the dwarven area, so farther away from the nasty upstairs people. And so going down into this would take you to the next part, something like that. Going up into here, maybe one side is collapsed and the other side is fine, or something like that. Just so there's enough room for enough goblins, right? We want a certain number of goblins. So so we come up here. And actually, this area, you'd basically be able to get up anywhere along these lines, right? So it's not very secure. It's not very linear, right? I can't tell you if they're going to come here first or here first or here first. I can collapse this or not. I could maybe make the collapse somewhere in here. I could make a collapse over here so that this is actually bifurcated. And so if you climb up here, there's something else going on here. Actually, that would be probably a better thing is collapse this. There's something over here. You come up here, and then there's something secret. There was something secret in this in the governor's apartments. The governor was up to no good. He had something special made somehow. I'm not sure how that would work. And therefore there's maybe a secret door or something like this coming into the nasty underground place that's providing the curse. And anything else? I have vampire. Where did the vampire bat go? Vampire bat is all a little ways around. Okay, now the fire bolt should burn up the bloat. As long as he's not on, and as long as he's not on grass, it doesn't do any damage to the dungeon. but I also want to use it to burn up things like that. And because we have the javelins, I kind of want to use up the darts. So let's do that. So we've seen that I don't really feel like these analyses are really helping me, or even in some way, I don't feel like they're describing. I do not think this will start burning me up. Try. I am right. There's at least gold up there. There's oh no, there's another door. Come on, another door. No, okay. Let's see. Should we keep in a safety? Would be good. But the thing is in the actual in the place where the two dudes are talking, in that at least that first half of that, sounds like they both, despite all this stuff. Oh no, I lost the best one. I lost the best one. No, there's a stupid spider. Let's just make sure there's nothing here. Um, well, my name is Jim and I hate spiders. Okay, so this is where I should have kept the splint mail, right? So I might, oops, might be getting close to the point where I need to, yeah, let's try it. P, Y, I, charging, okay. And it's always good to recharge your dudes. So I'm currently glass cannon, right? Um, Hopefully I can. I have a light, so I can do some. If I can get both hallucination and I have a detect magic, so that will be good. Okay, let's see. Should have been doing some searching. So I know there's a way over there. I will use that detect magic down here. Make things so I have. My pack is full. It's time for detect magic, right? So see. I have not been tossing things at groups of monsters. Should toss things at groups of monsters. Let's just toss this at that guy. Hallucination. Oh, this chainmail is good. Spiders don't eat ogres. Sort of P. Darkness. Throw. T. Okay, that'll get me a dude. Kind of dude I do not defined an orb. Thank you, wandering monsters, for showing me the way. Um, Singularity darts. Zero plate. How did the vampire get out? Normally the vampire would stay in his thing, his crypt. Why did the vampire leave his crypt? Right? That's usually something that I do. Right? Because it's a response to I got a unicorn. That is, it's supposed to be a response to whatever it is that I'm doing, not anything else. Oh, that was that one. Okay, so I am not wearing that bloodstone ring. That's a no. Um, Probably I should not do this, but I'll do it anyway. Regeneration. Where am I? I'm okay, actually. Right. Hey, do I have anything interesting? No. Drop Q. So basically, this level is kind of the Goblin Church level. What happened? Did my ogre knock me in there? Because I'm just pressing some buttons, right? I want to stay away from that thing. I don't think I have a choice, do I? Guess I do. I can R it. It's just +2 chainmail. So nothing to write home about. And like I said, I want to, oops, my unicorn is okay. I want to find some food. You are underworms. You are not helping me find food. You're just going to kill my dudes. I lose another dude? No, there's my dude. No one knows what that dude was doing. What did that dude do? Yeah, there is a potion. I want that there potion. feel like there's another door up there now, too. Telepathy. Is that planning on surviving this long? If that's a good axe, actually, I probably don't need it. Well, I mean, I guess it depends. Let's see, what do I have? Hmm, oh, that was one of my. I just tossed these ones down. These were my plate armors. Let's see. Oh, and there's another spot where I was burning things up. Let's see. Is there anything in here? Yes. Another scroll of enchanting. Um, Pretty close. Let's see. P and invisibility. All right, very nice. I think we just have to get out of here. That's going to breathe a lot. Stupid Naga. I do have those telepathies. I'll keep 1114, so I had a key. There's nothing actually over here. So those are my dudes. And those are a lot of my things. I'm going to have to blink. It's probably me. Okay, that thing is. Okay, my dude survived. I don't know if I will. Oh, I can use that obstruction in a moment. In a moment. key? I get the key. No, the key's still floating around in there somewhere. Maybe. That's still crap. See anything in there? More hammer visibility. It's still floating around in there. So what we need to do is we need to obstruct there. I still have one telepathy. Okay, I actually don't have any more of those dudes to dick around with. So obstruct there. And do I have anything that'll help me? No. Where am I? Where the fuck am I? Oh, crap. I don't even know where I am. Okay, there I am. All right, well, that is it. Explosion on depth 15. Um, yeah, the axe is no good. This thing is no good. This is a really nasty trap. This is completely random, but that's part of the reason why I obstructed this. Unfortunately, this fire trap because all of this explosive gas. But unfortunately, that doesn't last forever. I should have maybe recharged it while I was running around this way. Redone it again. Because I was in a fairly good situation. Maybe I could have kept blinking out of it as well. I had the blinking that should have 3 charges. So I should have been thinking about that as well. But I was right in the middle of all this stuff when it started happening. So the obstruction was probably the more important thing to do.